Dom Link, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to another episode review of Ruin This Kingdom. Kingdom of Ruin, sorry. Episode 5, Season 1. So, this one's a bit special. I mean, fuck, what am I saying? There's a lot going on. Like, the last episode, we had the Adonis on the moon, we had the Kingdom of the Wishes, the dream of having Chloe back, and now this episode is a lot more violent, it's a lot more physical. It's not like I'm complaining because I did have problem and I did have issues with this particular episode. So the very first beginning we have Adonis who, instead of bringing Chloe back, he brings Dakota. So again, what they're doing, and they're doing this trope a lot, which is basically that Adonis, while summoning, was always going to summon Dakota. It was never going to be Chloe. It was always going to be Dakota, which, cool. Hell yeah, bro. But if it's always going to be Dakota, you have to specify that it was always going to be Dakota. You can't say, oh, it might be Chloe. It might have been her. The reason for Adonis doing that is like, dude, and again, I'm not trying to find problem, but they do seem to be overusing trope. Like the fact that he brought back Dakota is super cool. So then he has the Ophelia, which is basically the Empress. She's like, oh, why did you betray us? And basically Adonis, he had a ship, which is a GPS, which apparently he knew he had, which weirdly he didn't take off. Well, so again, if you read between the line, it's not that weird. It didn't take it off. In his mind, he was like, okay, well, if I have the GPS, they'll always hunt me. The fighter will always hunt me. The more they hunt me, the more I'll be able to kill. So it wouldn't make sense. And then on the moon, he take it off, he destroy it, which creates a explosion, which apparently Adonis knew was gonna happen. And they burn down the last tree for the witches. So now the witches are gonna go extinct because there's no more tree. Then, because of the GPS, we see the human are coming there. And technically, you would expect that, oh, well, humans are weaker than witches. The problem with the problem with the humans, and I'll be honest, this episode was not the greatest. I can't, it was probably the weakest out of the 5 I saw. Um, the human are supposed to be weaker, and we have all those witches and all their power. But basically, what happened during this spoiler is they all get killed, every single one of them except for Dakota. And they're getting killed one after the other, and they're all having this power. And you see some of them which have this super cool power. One has an armor, one can slow down people, one has a venom, one can summon water, and it's cool. But you're basically in this episode alone. You killed the whole battle. You killed the whole witches. It was even a point where the witches are like, because Adonis did fight for the witches, and it was the point that the witches were like, yo, let's back up Adonis. He's a dick, but he's fighting the humans, right? And he brought them here. Or even the queen, she managed to kill a lot of people. But in the very end, all the witches were killed, which sucks. But at the same time, like, okay. Now we know how the witches and it's let's continue. It's not because I would have liked a better fight. Like the fight was supposed to be the witches versus the humans since the beginning. So then they kill all the witches. Kind of fucked, right? So we have Anna who sacrificed herself. Anna, which was the girl Adonis hated. And the reason why we didn't want to bring Chloe's back is that this world is fucked up. There's no place in this world for you. You don't deserve this. You deserve to stay where you are. This world is not a home for you. And you can kind of see that he's willing to die. He wants to die because if he hates that world so much for Chloe, he must hate that world for himself. But he has a vengeance plans to do, so he keeps on doing that vengeance. Right? Then we go back to Earth, and again, I'm gonna tell you guys a secret. I'm using YouTube, and I'm using subtitle because they're put up and they're deleted the next day. So a lot of the subtitle was missing. So there's a lot of I don't understand. But what I did understand is they went back to the Earth. Then they show how did the witches get up here, and apparently they use a satellite. And there was a picture with the witches who died there, and yeah, so they keep on transporting. And the human here, it's not because again, the human only won by sheer number. We have a fight with the general and Adonis, and it was kind of cool because Adonis, for the first time, we really see him fight. Most of the time when Adonis fight, it's always gonna be like one spell, it's gonna be one summon, it's gonna be a giant bullet, it's gonna be gonna find a way. I would have almost preferred that he betrayed the witches, and then he has to fight both. He has to fight the both the witches and the human, but they killed all the witches. There's this part. There's also the part that the humans they're always like, oh well, we have to protect, and it sucks because there's a lot they don't say. Um, for example, the fact that the witches were instinct. The human keep on saying, oh, they were instinct 10 years ago. Nah, you keep them enslaved. You know what I mean? I would have liked to see more. The fight was good. The fight between Adonis and Denjol was good. The rest was shit. There was some pretty cool power, but again, if you present the power and you kill it in a couple minutes, it doesn't serve a purpose. The way they killed it, it was kind of crazy. There was a lot of decapitation, a lot of slicing into, and it sucks because the witches were super strong, but then the general, with one swipe of his sword, killed so many of them. So like, were they really strong? And with that, I understand that they serve a purpose. It's like, okay, well, the witches are never going to be a thing, and it's not such a it's not such a bad loss. If you really wanted to be positive and analyze in a positive fashion, it's not that bad. Because at the end of the day, you realize that all of those witches we didn't know existed. We thought the witches were almost extinct, so the fact that they existed just to get wiped off, not a big deal. And the fact that you could have had some, I don't mind having a couple episodes with the fights. I don't mind seeing this fight continue over several seasons. But then you destroy it. So why bring the And I think it's to show that Adonis had the chance to he had the chance to free Chloe, to summon Chloe. He didn't do it. So I guess this is what they're trying to do. But again, it has to serve a purpose, right? So I love you guys. Take it easy. Peace.